sampai 5 ataupun 5.5 macam dia masih fokus tapi nampak macam tak fokus. Tak fokus tak lah. Betul, dia soft. Soft lah. Pakai manual, harap lah.
Oh, Tyre done wise. Oh, but he's not.
Yeah, he's not. I don't know why he's not playing. He's not racing.
Oh.
Welcome to the Ultimate Duathlon Challenge at Petronas Sepang International Circuit. Whether you're an elite athlete, a seasoned pro, or an amateur seeking adventure, this event is for you. Experience the thrill of racing on the world-renowned Petronas Sepang International Circuit. It's not just about who's the fastest, but the excitement of racing together and forging new sportsmanship. Celebrate your achievements and the bonds you've created. Every finish is a victory. Join us at Petronas Sepang International Circuit for an unforgettable duathlon experience. Register now and be part of the excitement.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to the Sepang International Circuit for the Malaysia Championship Series. A lot of things are happening down here at the Petronas Sepang International Circuit. What's important is that we are back for round 3, race 1 for the Malaysia Championship Series 2024. Earlier in the morning, we have had the SP2 as well as the MTC category, and later, very soon, where the cars are already on the track, we're going to be witnessing the TP as well as the SP1 category. So don't forget to watch us on all our socials and make sure you guys give us a share as well. Now, we don't want to waste any more time because we do have a few special guests that we have brought to you down here. I just want to go directly to the mid here because we got YB Ahmad together with us. YB Ultimate together. YB, how are you?
I'm well, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for coming down.
No worries, no worries.
Right, so is this your first Malaysia Championship Series that you've attended?
It is my first Malaysian Championship Series I've attended, but it's not my first time at Sepang.
Of course. So what do you anticipate? Because for the TP as well as the SP1 category, we're going to see a lot of fast cars. We got all the Civics down here. Are you a race fan anyway?
Not as serious as some of the people I know.
Okay. So, I mean, whatever it is that, Petronas Sepang International Circuit has done, obviously, with the up-and-coming MotoGP as well. What do you think about SIC, to your opinion?
I think SIC is a great place that, we can nurture budding talents, not just in racing, but in terms of engineering and the technical, the behind-the-scenes part as well. We need more local talents to be involved on both sides of the fence, so to speak. Yeah.
Maybe we can get you to perform for us anytime soon, or you're not performing anymore.
Get them.
Get them, exactly. All right, guys, again, like I said, VIPs down here on the track, a lot more to be discussed, obviously a lot more to talk about. But let us go to our commentators. We got our brother who is shiny as well, Jeef.
Hey, Emil, thanks. Yes, welcome everyone to part 2 of the Malaysia Championship Series 2024 season round 3, race 1. This is for Touring Production SP1. Great to see Ultimate, one of the, of course, famous rappers from the Tyre crew here in attendance. Sitting with me in the commentary box, Nicholas Anil. Nick, how are you doing? Great race this afternoon.
Yes, I'm anticipating a fantastic race. Just judging by the first 2 classes that happened in the earlier session, I think we are bound for a tantalizing session in the afternoon session. And happy to report that the rain has cleared up.
it is just cleared up. It started off again. As you can see, the weather is 33 degrees. I heard the track temperatures is a little bit hotter than that, but cloudy for now. There was a little spattering of rain just now for about 20 minutes. It looks to have cleared up. So as of now, as the 5-minute board is shown, it looks like we are going to have a dry race, and it is just as close. If you did watch the previous race this afternoon, that of course was a great performance by the Honda Malaysia racing team, and Putra Adam again to win that over High Rev Dream Chaser. That's pushed that championship definitely down to round 4. Now, before we get any further, that's Fazil Alang. We're going to be talking to him as well. I do believe Mio is with him right now.
I'm here on row 3 together with car 29, Faisal Ala. Faisal, how are you doing? It did rain a bit and it stopped a bit, so it's a bit of a mixed feeling down here.
Super mixed feeling. Very nervous feeling. So I'm not sure it's going to be dry or wet, but I just got to drive it.
Yeah. Of course, obviously, if it's a dry track, you have a different strategy. If it's a wet track, another strategy comes to play. But the fact that it's a bit of a mix here, how would your gameplay be? How would your strategy be?
I just be ready, be prepared myself that it is wet, then I have to adapt very quickly. That's most important because I don't have much time testing on this car. I already have one testing. This is good to be back in TP production. Yeah, I get back the car number 29. So I hope I can do well.
Okay, we wish you all the best and have a safe and great race.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
G, back to you.
Fazil Alang, one of the veterans of the MCS. He's been racing for a long time, and as he said, it's great to be back at touring production. But what he said is very true. As we look at the circuit, full circuit in use as usual, 15 corners, 5.543 kilometers, 2 fast straights right in the middle, and then it tapers off. Fast corners, slow corners after that in the 15, but lots of opportunities for overtaking, especially with these big gun cars.
Yes, and especially so that we've seen a lot of overtaking done in the earlier session as well.
So don't forget, you can get your tickets and find out more information about the Petronas Grand Prix of Malaysia, the biggest race happening at Sepang. That's going to be on the 1st to 3rd of November weekend. 10% discount for anyone that owns a My Card, a Malaysian citizen, and you can find out more on sepangcircuit.com, where you can also find out about how to get your car onto this FIA Grade 1 circuit. You can find out exactly what these drivers have to deal with, and it is a completely different experience. I can tell you, I've done it, and it makes your experience of Sepang just, well, into a different level. Also, duathlon has nothing to do with cars. It's all about cycles and people. First time that's happened, 17th of November. Find out more about it and register early on that official website, sepangcircuit.com.my. So as I was saying, the touring production and SP1, bigger engines, bigger cars, but just as close in terms of championships. We said MTC and SP2, well, there's a he is, Leon Koo right now is probably the most successful driver this season. 4 races we've had, and he's finished 1st or 2nd in 3 of them.
Yeah,
so
indeed. On 50 points, and he's also the fastest in qualifying yesterday, hence the pole position. Definitely the man to beat. The man who wasn't in contention in the last race, but we were treated to some tantalizing action between Roy Tang and Jonathan Z. I'm not sure if you remember that.
Yeah, no, I do. Johnny Z's always trying to get stuck into the biggest battles, and he looks like he's ready this time as well. Hasn't had the best of luck, Johnny Z, but definitely one of the fastest races on here. So it has been declared a wet race, as you can see, even with that tiny amount of moisture that's come down, but I think they're expecting more because it's not clear skies anymore here at Sepang. So there's just 3 points in it in terms of the standing. Our Engineering currently topping the standings with 50 points because of Leon Koo, and Bay Racing in 2nd with 47 points. In SP1, it's Our Engineering, 7 points ahead of Our Works. Now, if you just think of the normal touring car point schedule, 15, 12, 10, and then 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 all the way, it does mean that there's a very good chance that the leaders can change in both of these categories, but a much smaller grid, as you can see, because, well, there's only about 6 cars, I think, in touring production.
Yeah, it's going to make for a much interesting race because it's not as bunched up as it
Not
was
as
in
bunched
the
up.
earlier session.
There was no track space, basically, in that earlier race. 55 cars on the grid. There's confirmation of it. It's a wet race. All cars to switch on their lights. And we're going to hope that this is the most amount of moisture on the track. Half an hour race for this standing start.
Yeah, indeed, sprint race, so any pit stop strategy is non-existent here. It's just...
Yep, straight up, shoot out to the end.
Right.
It was all about that pit stop strategy in the first race, and that's effectively what won it for Honda Malaysia.
Be interesting to see how the SP1 category pans out as well. We have Putra Adam, who obviously did well with the HRMT, topping that race, and he is competing with our engineering in the SP1 category. Of course, the leader as well. And here we have the classifications. Leon taking top spot, followed by Jonathan Z and Roy Tang in third place. Lee Kam Soon, Faidil Alang in fourth place. Daniel Lu in fifth place. Su Chi Hui takes sixth.
In seventh is Putra Adam in his second race of 3 today. Kusi Kanto, who was doing well at the early part of the recent, season, in 8th. Baron Sim in 9th, Faris Fazi in 10th, Chatek Song 11th, and Ken Urata, the ever-reliable Ken, in 12th.
And Pisau Fan is in 13th place, and Lim Yao Huang completes the classification in 14th.
Wait, hold on. Aren't there any more pages? Because
we went on and on earlier.
This morning, I think it went on for at least about 5 minutes. As you can see there, the rain is actually coming back. So it has started again.
But this is the interesting part of the Sepang International Circuit. It may rain on the south section, but in the north section it is dry.
That's right, and that's actually exactly what's happening here, because I can't see any rain up at the start line.
Yeah.
And as Fazil Alan pointed out, it is a different strategy if it's dry or if it's wet. And of course the cars will be running a lot faster if it was a dry race. But we should see some, if we can, I mean, the fastest laps we've seen, 229s up here, probably. I'd say about 230 in these kind of conditions. But as opposed to that first race that we saw, it is all about, you can really pick your lines here. There's a lot more space on track, a lot less back markers. Back markers made such a difference in that first race.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with the leaders competing, and just they were not too far apart. And with much cooler conditions, there isn't an issue of the engine overheating as we saw in the earlier race as well.
There's a few cars that's something you really just can't predict as to how your car is going to handle. But halfway through that first race, all the drivers were nursing their engines a lot more. So coming round, that's turn 14, onto the back straight now.
I think we spoke to Suji because it is beginning to rain in front of the starting grid.
I sometimes think I'm the one that does it, but no.
No, I'm part to blame as well. I said it too.
In fact, this also means, of course, the rest of the races for the rest of the day are going to be affected by this weather. That's pretty heavy rain that's coming down now as well. Well, it is still, even with just 14 cars on the grid, going to be a run for turn 1. And that there is Leon Koo in that newly painted our engineering car.
Targeting a third podium.
That would be an incredible start to this season. It really might be untouchable if he gets a double win this weekend, including tomorrow, and that might be it. But as I said, right now he's only 3 points ahead of Bay Racing, so this is very important for Roy Tang especially to try and get some points back. So ready for the start now. Get a green flag at the back. I was just about to say that there were no windscreen wipers on that our engineering car, but ooh, that's very interesting indeed. Almost stalled.
And just like that, the leader, the pole sitters right back. And Jonathan Z, as he always does, has set the tone.
Well, he just picked a really nice line but that is what can happen if you're a bit slow off the start. Look at that. Leon Koo is now down into 5th already. Very bad start for our engineering.
Maybe just switched off for a little while and it's lapse in concentration.
Maybe he was still thinking about his windscreen wipers, which he turned on late. 29 minutes, as you can see, the race clock has started at the top of your screen. It's not a lot of time for Leon Koo to get to the front, especially in conditions like this. And look at Johnny Z.
Yep, he's already setting the pace. Fastest sector 1.
Great start from him. Some of these cars, like that 46 car, you can see have some great history here up at Sepang. Oh, and the moisture has already claimed its first victim. That is Leon Koo.
That is Leon Koo.
And
Second one.
It's another car that's gone off there as well. So Leon Koo has had
3 cars.
an absolute nightmare start. And this, again, is going to throw the championship wide open.
Indeed, they just underestimated that turn. Maybe failed to slam on the brakes a little quicker.
4 cars out.
That's Baron Sim. Baron has also not had the greatest of seasons.
Now, looking at this is the corner. Leon absolutely lost it there and was lucky to not hit anybody else, straight onto the gravel. Well, we were just talking about how half the track is wet, half the track is dry, and right now you can't really tell where that moisture is.
Indeed.
But 4 cars taken out of 14, and he's not coming back by the looks of it.
This is so unfortunate for Leon Koo. It just looked like he slipped off the gravel and he would get back.
All that preparation, all that waiting, and your race lasted 35 seconds, basically 40 seconds. Not a good start. Bay Racing, there you go, very happy with that. They are currently in 2nd. Roy Tang just behind Johnny Z. And Roy Tang's actually put in the fastest sector 3 now.
I'm very much looking forward to this rivalry between Jonathan Z and Roy Tang. If this is an indication of what's to come.
Well, a full course yellow has been called. Safety car is back out.
So perhaps not just yet, because
Not
they all have to
yeah, they all
adhere
have to now stick to it, but that was an incredible start, really. Look at that.
And that's definitely due to the 3 cars
Yeah, absolutely.
on that turn.
So Leon Koo, pole position, down to 13th in 1 lap. That's how quickly things can change.
So by the looks of what we see now, monitor Leon Koo and Baron Sim are currently out.
Yeah, they're not going to make it if, well, being that far behind, they look like they've DNF'd on the first lap. So it's an all-new winner. And they're going to have to start aiming for tomorrow by the looks of it. Cars bunching up as they get down to full course yellow speeds.
Well, just before safety car was deployed, Jonathan Z actually posted the fastest lap time, 2:42. That was a whole 3 seconds faster than Roy Tang.
Yeah, 2:42. That's a good 20 seconds off. Well, no, in fact, it's about 15 seconds off the fastest they could do if it was dry conditions.
Remains to be seen why the safety car has been deployed. Probably debris on that.
I'm sure because I'm sure they're going to be checking, because if there's 4 cars that went off, then there's a very, very high chance that there is going to be some sort of debris. But it might also just be to check where the moisture is. As you can see, Baron Sim's car is still there in the gravel. Well, a completely different start. And we've got an SP1 car that's leading, an SP1 car in 2nd. The first touring car, TP, is in 3rd. That's Putra Adam, who, by the way, is also racing in Toyota Gazoo later on.
Yeah.
It's a big day of racing for him.
Back schedule for Putrada. But I really do feel for Baron Sim. In the last 2 races, he's only picked up 7 points, and he's had to deal with another setback.
And this is a pretty terminal setback as well. Well, Johnny Z just waiting to come off this safety car. But even then, if he does, I don't know how much faster he can actually go in these conditions.
Johnny Z approaching this weekend with renewed aspirations, with new livery as well. It's a pretty striking new yellow and orange livery.
So he is currently in 4th spot in the standings with 30 points. So a good double win this weekend would do him very well. It'd be another 30 points. In fact, that would put him up there.
He was actually 3rd in the last race, but after the official classifications came out, he actually was bumped up to 2nd, and Roy Tang ended up taking 4th spot. So that has put him back right in contention.
Oh, safety car still out. What an electrifying start that was. So the cars just biding their time, making sure they're keeping their tires warm. And looking back at that start, now you can just see that. Look at that fantastic move there.
Yeah, wasted no time.
Yeah, just getting past that car. Johnny Z came in on the outside and he immediately went straight to the top. Hankook just shell-shocked in the middle of the pack. Didn't really know what to do.
And credit to Roy Tang as well. He immediately started charging at Jonathan Z, and after that it was a battle between the both of them.
If it wasn't for a full course yellow, Johnny Z would be far, far ahead now. But it is a full course yellow. The safety car is still out, so he's going to have to wait for his opportunity.
It is frustrating to just, not even finish one lap and you have full course yellow that kicks in and...
You're ready to go, you're ready to kickstart everything, get into full gear. But these are the environmental conditions that happen.
And in a sprint race, it sort of takes away a lot of the momentum.
It does, it really does. As we said, Hankook and Barrington are essentially out of this race now because of it being so short and them now being 2 laps behind. You get any serious mistake in a sprint race and it's pretty much a one-shot deal.
And it was this corner where those 3 cars...
Well, we haven't had any word yet as to when that safety car is coming back in. But of course, you're not allowed to overtake under these conditions. It looks like the rain may be affecting everything.
Screens just went green for a while, but it's back.
A lot to deal with, lot to contend with up in Sepang. So this is turn 9 and turn 10. Frustrating is the word, especially for the drivers. As I said, they have to get themselves into a different mental state.
While keeping in mind their time is running down, they have just over 20 minutes
to make an impact.
So we can safely say that this would be essentially a 20-minute sprint race.
Or it might, depending on, of course, when the safety car comes in, it might be a 10-minute sprint race. Should be 3 or 4 laps. If they are lapping around about 2:30, 2:40, then, as I said already, the maximum this race could be is a 10-lap race. It's important that they keep their distance. There is Wai Sing, the leader of our engineering. Trying his best to put a smile on that because he's the best. What happened with Hankook?
Interesting how it will pan out in the SP1, because we know that the TP is just 3 points, or rather 5 points separates the top 3, but in the SP1, Putra Adam obviously has a 7-point lead. Kusei Kanto, I think, has started off really well, and he has a big point to prove, but I wouldn't count out the other competitors, and there is a more diverse participation. You have competitors from Malaysia, Japan, Bangladesh. Of course, Tawhid Anwar is not competing this time around.
But you're right about Kusei Kanto. He did have a brilliant start round 1, and round 2 kind of went away from him.
Yep.
So he does need to, as you said, prove a point here in round 3. There is the Hankook. Good to see him back out on track.
Indeed.
2 laps back, and really his effectiveness and finishing position is going to be greatly affected by that. Unlucky for Leon.
He's outlapped Leon Koo. And I'm seeing timings on Baron Sim as well.
Well.
So
They managed to get that out the gravel. Daniel Uy is another one that you should probably keep an eye out, number 77 car. In fifth.
Yep, Daniel Uy actually having a great round 2. He won the first race of round 2 and finished second. Not too far from Leon Koo, and if you can safely say that Leon Koo may not finish in the podium today. So the TP1 category, TP1 will be blown wide open.
Well, while we wait for this safety car to exit the track, we're going to take a little break. We'll be back with more after this.
Hi, I'm Pedro Acosta from Red Bull Gasgas Tectra MotoGP. Come down to Sepang this November and experience the speed, the thriller and the excitement for the biggest race in Malaysia. Get your ticket now. I'm ready for Malaysia GP. Are you?
Welcome to the Ultimate Duathlon Challenge at Petronas Sepang International Circuit. Whether you're an elite athlete, a seasoned pro, or an amateur seeking adventure, this event is for you. Experience the thrill of racing on the world-renowned Petronas Sepang International Circuit. It's not just about who's the fastest, but the excitement of racing together and forging new sportsmanship. Celebrate your achievements and the bonds you've created. Every finish is a victory. Join us at Petronas Sepang International Circuit for an unforgettable duathlon experience. Register now and be part of the excitement.
Back to the Petronas official live stream to Sepang International Circuit. As you can see, we are still in safety car conditions here at the second race for TP and SP1. That was because 4 cars went off in that first, well, was one of them, the leader of the TP Championship right now. Back on track, thankfully, but out of contention for sure with just 15 minutes or just under 15 minutes left to go in this race.
Yeah, Leon Cruz like 4.25 minutes away from the leader. Good to see Baron Sim back as well.
But I'm guessing he's got to be at least 5 minutes back at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's actually over 2 minutes behind Leon Koo in 14th place.
Well, you can take all the maths in the world and it just wouldn't work out with the amount of time that they have and the speed that they're going at. So they're going to have to direct their attentions to tomorrow's second race to try and make an impact.
I have to say that from where we are seated, the rain has cleared up. The track looks to be
a bit drier.
Yeah.
Still, they have to make sure safety is always paramount. And just heard the safety car is coming in now, which means we are back to green light racing. And with 13 minutes left, that's roughly 6 laps that they have. So Jonathan Z with an absolutely glorious opportunity here to pick up 15 points and get his season back on track. All he has to do is stay ahead of that second car, Roy Tang.
It's not going to be easy because Roy may look to make moves right now.
And Bay Racing are, as I said, 7 points back. Or 3 points back in terms of the championship. So coming up to turn 5, and now they're all going to be very cautious about exactly how fast they can go. That's the other thing about coming off a full course yellow. You just don't really want to, you know, be too impetuous and start pushing yourself too hard. Yeah. You still don't know exactly where all that moisture is.
I think it's still very much a track assessment at this stage, just to gauge which corners are wet and which ones are a little bit more drier.
So there will be, well, as you can see already, that corner, that's where all the trouble happened at the beginning.
Indeed.
Still a little bit rough. Chewy down in 10th. Johnny Z, meanwhile, should be able to do well from this position. If he's in the lead, then he doesn't have that many. He's better at attacking. True, but he does know how to defend quite well. Roy Tang, 0.4 of a second behind him. And Putra Adam just hanging back 1.2 seconds.
Putra Adam is topping that SP1 category by a healthy margin. He's almost 3 seconds ahead. But that's the second time.
Yeah, a little bit of a touch there.
Chi Siang has gone off grid. Still very much wet in those part of the track. You can see the moisture just...
Well, it's just going to be, you know, you have to calculate your racing line now. It's going to have to be a little bit of variation here and there because you want to avoid all of that. Now that is the battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th. Nicely bunched up there.
And Jonathan Z has set the pace. He's posted the fastest 2 sectors after we went green.
So, as we look at that fight for 3rd and 4th, yes, Johnny Z is pushing ahead. He's now 1.6 seconds ahead of Roy Tang. 10 minutes left in the race, so roughly 4 to 5 laps. I was having a look at this replay. That was again, the car skidding out. That looks at turn 14 is the big problem right now.
Exact same spot where Leon Koo went wide.
But controlled it better, controlled it well.
Roy Tang has just lost a little bit of pace to Jonathan Z, who posted the second fastest lap, or rather the second time he's posted the fastest lap, 2:34.
Well, this is the thing with Johnny Z. As soon as he gets an opportunity, he does make the most of it. The only factor I've seen that can slow him down is if the car is in, if there's some problem with the car. But if it's all in good working order, he should be able to manage this. And really, though, being so far back in terms of the championship, Roy Tang is going to be the big winner. That was another car that spun out second half. So it looks like turns 9 to 14 is where all the moisture really is. It's the battle for third. That's Daniel Lee just in the middle, looking for some ground up at turn 9, turn 10. Oh, and a touch as well.
Powered on.
Well, still managed to get through now. This is it, so tough when you've got a group of 3 cars.
It's been an interesting few minutes for Chi Xiang.
Yeah. Well, with all of this battle happening behind them, the top 3 are pulling away nicely. Oh, and that's a great, huge loss of speed from Black Wolf. Lost 2 positions.
And dropped down to 4th.
So 8 minutes left on the clock. Still, Tony Z, Roy Tang, Putrada in the top 3. Big battle happening behind them, and that's exactly what we're watching.
Putrada has left his closest competitor almost 6 seconds behind.
Yeah, I'm consolidating his 3rd spot nicely. That's going to do him well to get those points. But this is the big battle happening right now. 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. And you can just see there's actually only 4 seconds between 3rd and 9th. Works. Ken Urata defending well as always. Turn 1, look at that. You're not getting past him. He's like a brick wall. Absolutely not getting past him.
It was Chao Texiong trying to do a number on him.
Who is actually very experienced as well. They've had this battle they've had for a good few years. But yeah, as you well know, I have great faith in Ken Urata's defending abilities.
I've seen the battle between Ken Urata and Chao Texiong unfold over the S1K, and that goes on for a long time.
Right. S1K will again be happening this year, of course. Like there might be, oh no, blue skies actually. From the commentary box, we can see blue skies again. So, last 7 minutes of this race might even be dry.
This is the beauty of Malaysian weather. It really plays tricks and mind games on you.
So it's around this time, around about 4 o'clock. Still, nice big gap opened up between Putrada and Fadzil Alang.
Yep, that's almost a 10-second lead that has been developed by Putrada. Great outing so far for Putrada. Looks to be on pole position to finish.
Yeah, I'm just amazed at that.
Second consecutive race.
Such a young driver, and he's in 3 races today, various parts of the day, but he still keeps coming out in the top 3. That's Jiui, and well, Leon Ku should be, no, in fact he's going to be, yeah, full lap behind now. Johnny Z extending his lead over Roy Tang.
Johnny Z is definitely due a victory. 3 consecutive 3rd place finishes.
He's done well with the good start that really set him up, and then after that no one could see what was going to happen to those top 4 cars, but he again made the best of it. The sun is back out again. It's good to see.
It's like the rain never happened.
Almost. Into turn 1. This big battle again for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Well, something has happened to Putrada. Something big has happened to Putrada. For a second, he dropped down. I think he may have just been a transponder glitch because he's back up to 3rd. For a second, it looked like he dropped completely off the pace, which would have been very odd. Here he is, our leader, Johnny Z.
It's an interesting livery. Is that a B? Looks like a B.
I think it looks like a B, yeah. They've always had that black and gold going, but certainly somebody went to town on that car. So far, the livery seems to be working. He is buzzing.
Indeed. And with 2 laps to go, it's really got to be a Herculean effort. It's now or never for Roy Tang.
That's Roy Tang. He's closed up from 2.2 to 1.8. And in these 2 laps, that's his chance. If not, consolidated, second for second, and look for a good race too tomorrow.
He just shaved off 200 of a second from Jonathan Z. So he's picked up the pace a little bit, but
He's not going to have enough time.
Yeah, it's not enough.
If it wasn't for the full course yellow, perhaps. Slightly longer race, perhaps. He's definitely got the pace for it, but I think he's going to have to concede second place. He's a good 5 seconds ahead of Putradim, so looks like it's set up for the top 3. Looks closer there on your screen than it actually is, but he's going to need to be at least about 4 or 5 foot closer. He was going to have a pop at turn 15. That's one of the R engineering cars.
Roy Tang is actually getting much faster. He's just posted the fastest lap. So now it's back to, yeah, Roy Tang, 230.
Yeah, 230 is pretty good in these conditions as well. He started 1.5, but we'll be coming up to last lap soon. So he's going to need something to happen to Jonathan Z if he's going to take the lead. Now that is neck and neck. And as I said, we're looking at Fadzil Alang and Daniel Louis, who are both fighting for that entry to turn 1. One of them's going to have to concede. And it is, in fact, Daniel Louis in the end.
Putradim all out there on his own.
I think that's the best place to be right
Just
now.
pretty much in cruise control.
You know, if you know you're not going to win, just don't lose. That's, that's I guess, the main bit of time. That's a great move by Daniel Louis at turn 5, but I don't know if he's had enough. He got more than half a car length for sure. This is definitely the biggest battle happening right now for 4th and 5th. And that is, oh, it had to be a touch. They were just driving too close to each other. Both off at turn 14, and I think that's going to be the end of that. And that's what I mean. Consolidate if you can. One of them's back on track.
Wow, what an interesting race Chi Xiang has had. Twice he was forced wide. He was hit from behind.
Absolutely.
Neither man willing to relent.
That's why the racing line can only be occupied by one car in the end, and you can, you know, wave at each other through the window as you're next to each other, but at some point, someone's going to have to give way. Neither of them did, and Chioi very, very lucky to come through that. But down in the classification. So we are getting very close to the last lap now, and Roy Tang still 1.5 seconds back, so it doesn't look like he's going to be winning it. Well, a very strange race for Touring Production SP1, and a lot of these contenders are going to have to refocus themselves for tomorrow. So Ken Urata is in 7th right now. And 4th overall in SP1. Putradim is definitely going to be taken. So the SP1 podium will be Putradim, Faris Fauzi, and Kusi Kanto. Good to see Kanto back on the podium.
Kanto has even a chance to get into second place. He's
Could
not
do,
too far.
yeah, could do.
Oh, and he has jumped to second spot.
Well, well, well.
No, actually Kusi Kanto is jumped to first.
This is how, yeah, he's just managed to get past Putradim. There is something wrong with his car.
Yeah, Putradim was 10 seconds ahead not too long ago.
And now with the last lap again, Well, he seems to have jumped up there. That's definitely a transponder issue going on with Putralam, because he seems to be bouncing up and down the classifications and then just not that close on track.
Yep, I think it is a transponder issue, because our screens show that Putralam has a 11-second lead over Faris Fauzi.
So Putralam, there's the S production classification. 11 seconds ahead of Faris Fauzi, and that's touring production and S production together. So Roy Tang's actually managed to get that down to 0.9 of a second.
Yes, he's gotten faster.
He has, but just not enough space on track left for him to try and push it. And I think Johnny is going to take this. And there he is. Only a few corners left for him now.
This will significantly bump up Jonathan Z. He's currently in 4th in the TP production. 15 points would give him 45.
Absolutely, and if he makes it a double with the win tomorrow as well, then he's really going to be in contention. So this will be the last lap after he comes around turn 15. Here you go. So one more lap after this, and then it's checkered flag for Johnny Z if he can hold it.
So I think still has an opportunity.
It's
It's not over yet.
Now all Roy has to do is just scare Johnny Z enough to make a mistake in one of these corners.
Indeed.
And he might be able to get through. 0.7, he has a look on the inside. This is a lot closer than I thought it would be.
That's because Roy Tang has also posted another fast lap, 2:29.
Well, it's good to see him having a go. Now, these last, so that was turn 2. So there's 13 left. He's really close now.
This is what we want to see. This makes for great viewing. Two competitors battling it out neck and neck, coming into the final lap.
Turn 5, he's having a look inside and outside Johnny Z. This is what I mean about scaring Johnny Z, because that's how you do it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. All he needs to do is just scare him.
Scare him enough.
Try to find an opening.
Johnny's now just confused as to whether he should be defending or going full out. And that's where he might be able to find it. This has come down to the last lap again. Round 2 came down to the last lap. This afternoon essentially came down to the last lap.
TP category always lives up to expectations.
That could be the mistake right there.
He recovered well though.
Oh, there's a nervy couple of laps in as we come up to turn 9. Lurking behind him, has a look on the inside, takes half a car length, cuts him off. Doesn't make it.
That was smart by Roy Tang, because if he had infringed him, there would be a possible penalty
as well, yeah.
He
He's
can
again having a look on the inside.
Perhaps now.
This has got to be the most hard-fought win for Johnny Z that I've seen him in the last 3 years.
Whatever it takes to get that first win of the season.
Well, it's going to come down to the finish line. It didn't look that way.
Come into the final 2 back straights.
Final corner, not enough. Roy Tang had a very, very good attempt, but unless he gets a miracle at turn 15 now.
Roy Tang still trying, yes.
Ball on the outside. Johnny Z should be good enough.
Final
to defend
chance.
That. This is it. Close, but no cigar. What a finish in touring production and SP1 as Johnny Z picks up 15 points and restarts his championship challenge for the 2024 season.
What a commendable effort by Roy Tang though.
Really well done.
Amazing, it makes for great viewing, and he picks up his 4th podium. That's his 4th podium in 5 races. 3rd consecutive second place finish.
That's amazing. For Bay Racing. Remember, they were just 3 points behind our engineering. Our engineering have not finished in the top 3. Leon Koo, who was leading.
Great to see Leon Koo finishing as well.
Yep. So all the finishes in. and a race that started rainy and is ended sunny, and it's only been half an hour. This is one of the most amazing tracks to commentate on, it really is, because so many things can happen so quickly. So there he is, best lap in the end, 2:29.755, and that's pretty admirable in these conditions.
And it all stemmed from that great start, capitalizing on Leon Ku's slow start to take the initiative.
Yeah, it could be just any single factor that makes a complete difference to a race. In this case, it was that start, and after that, the strategy changed. Whatever strategy he had before when he was behind in the grid, now it's all about defending. So Roy Tang did manage to get ahead of him in the end, but after the checkered flags. so a little bit of redemption.
Great focus by Jonathan Z though, during the
those last 2 laps. He was definitely sweating, not just because of the incredible track temperature.
It's just the latest series of rivalry we've witnessed between Jonathan Z and Roy Tang.
Yeah, we've been watching a lot of that. And it's set to continue tomorrow, of course. There's going to be another race. That's going to be also after the MTC and SP1s. And in fact, that's going to be at 1:50 local time tomorrow. Lots to do for our engineering, I can tell you that. So on his victory lap, and should be pulling into Parc Fermé now.
By the looks of it, Roy Tang's second place finish will actually bump him up. He will be now the new leader of the TP category.
Yeah, that's what I said. I mean, he would have liked to have won, but he was already in a good enough position to pick up points. And in the end, that's what it's all about. It's about consistency across the season. He set himself up nicely for tomorrow's race too. And of course, Bay Racing still very, very good in terms of the overall season, and round 4, the double endurance. Johnny Z back up at the top of the podium. Wasn't 100% his doing, but he managed to capitalize on it very well.
And great defending at the end.
Yeah, great defending at the end.
Roy
He
Tang.
certainly learned a lot about defending.
Yeah, Roy Tang gave it everything he got.
So that's what AMCS has been all about, really. You learn the things that you're not that good at, whether it's attacking or defending.
And this new sprint format has just brought out the best of all these competitors. We've just been seeing so much of intensity and different rivalry take shape.
Well, it's definitely given a platform to shine for TP and SP1, because in the old format, they would pretty much be running their own race anyway. These big 2000cc cars. So all cars now in Parc Fermé, and these are the results. Johnny Z, fantastic win for him, for Scuba Racing Team. Roy Tang in 2nd, Lee Kum Sun and Fazil Alang in 3rd, Daniel Yu in 4th, So Chi Ui in 5th, and Leon Ku, who was expected to win, DNF in touring production.
And in the SP1, Putra Adam picks up his 2nd win of the day. In 2nd place, we have Faris Fauzi. Kusi Kanto collects another podium finish. Kanurata in 4th place. Pisa Fan in 5th. Chao Tek Siong in 6th place. Yim Hao Huang in 7th. And Baron Sim, grateful to finish, albeit in 8th place.
Absolutely. So 2 wins already for Putra Adam, and still another race for him to go. So looking back at the highlights, well, as I said, the weather was a really key factor in this. Started off a bit rainy, and it was this start in the end, that stall from Leon Ku, that made all the difference, and some great movement from the rest of them, but it was Johnny Z that took the early lead, and you would never look back after that, even though he did have a lot of trouble near the end. Full course yellow just after 1 lap that lasted for a good 10 minutes because of this 4 cars out at turn 14. A lot of moisture on that corner, and that was the end of Leon Ku's race essentially. So all Johnny Z had to do after that was maintain and manage his race, which wasn't the easiest task because of a certain Roy Tang, as you can see, who was all over him. Well, that's not Roy Tang, that was the battle for third and fourth, and that led to contact because, well, neither driver wanted to give up that racing line. There's Roy Tang, and these are the last two nervous laps for Johnny Z. Very close there at turn 9, getting that lead. In the end, he would finish just under a second behind Johnny Z. So a great, great run from Roy Tang. So with that, that brings us to the end of the first part of Malaysia Championship Series 2024 Round 3. The race ones are over for MTC, SP2V, SP2G, TP and SP1. Do join us, of course, for tomorrow's races. They're going to be starting in the morning at 10:45. And don't forget, there's a lot of other races happening up at Sepang here today, so stay tuned on the official live stream of the Petronas Sepang International Circuit.
A very good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to the Sepang International Circuit for the Malaysia Championship Series